a lot of pride in my land here, and I'm having a lot of pride in my farm and my dairy. Yeah, my father he's on this farm for, golly, since back in maybe 1930 when he first bought the farm. And then I bought the farm from him.
Yeah, everybody knows everybody here. Small community.
Best part of my job is getting to work with a team of incredible people in an industry that I believe in and on projects that are going to be there long after I've finished working, and that my kids can go visit one day. And we can all feel like we did something to help slow climate change and change the way we think about energy.
One of the really neat things about the wind industry in the U.S. is that it is bringing manufacturing jobs back to the country.
I'm so proud of the role we play in creating jobs for Americans and in rebuilding our manufacturing base through wind energy. You know, the wind energy business now has more than 500 manufacturing facilities around the country, 70,000 people working in the wind industry. We're manufacturing something like 70% of all the different components that go into a typical wind turbine here in the United States. And so when our company builds a wind farm, we know that we're actually contributing to that manufacturing base. So it's awesome.
This is what we call our laydown yard, and it's basically our construction office complex, you know, where ourselves and Own Energy and Martinson and their subcontractors have their offices here, and then we work out of here to service the project.
They're really good with the community, and they eat in town and they buy stuff in town.
Well, they've hired a lot of the local people, the wind farms have, and it's made the economy boost a little bit. They come in, they eat here, they eat down the street. They've rented houses around. They've all been really good people, real well known, real well respected. I haven't had a problem out of any of them. They're all good people. If they're not good people, the people that are out there at the wind farm don't leave them around very long.
I'm impressed by the wind farm that I've seen completed. I've been impressed always by how nice and neat and clean everything is when a project is completed.
They'd let the land as like they found it or better, so that's a big deal for any farmer, you know, because that's the land is our living, so.
It's very important to landowners to treat their land well and properly, correctly, and that's, I think, what Own Energy does with a special priority more than other wind energy developers. For Windthorst 2, I am the Vice President of Construction, so the site team representing the owner reports to me, as well as the teams from Mortenson and Siemens. We started engineering Windthorst 2 in January of this year, of 2014, and broke ground, started construction at the site in April.
Hardest part of my job is development and the bumps in the road that occur during the development process. There's a good saying that a developer's life is about moving forward 2 spaces and 1 back pretty much all the time. But eventually you get up the mountain and you see great projects like Windthorst get built in the end. So hardest part of my job is dealing with those speed bumps, those challenges that come up along the way, and just keep motoring through.
I drove around lots of parts of Texas looking at them before I released my property for the wind farm. Fortunately, I am going to have 2 on this farm, are being constructed right now.
You got to wake up every morning believing that that project is going to get built one day and willing to take on whatever challenges the world presents in order to make sure it gets done.
I've always been positive about the wind turbines, mainly because of the extra income it brings me here on my farm. And it's good, clean energy.
What gives you that will and that desire to keep pushing through is the belief that what you're doing matters and that it's going to really have an impact. It's in Texas, which is one of the leading states in America for wind energy, and it's a model for other states in our country of being a pure petro state, but at the same time, one that has totally embraced renewable energy. And in Texas, there's just such an open environment to all forms of energy development that wind energy has had a really successful track record there.
Windthorst 2 is unique in that we've got terrific support from our landowner community. We have gone out of our way to make sure the landowners are listened to, represented, their voice is heard in the construction activities. Our site manager, Dick Doffenbaugh, makes that a priority, and that's the way it ought to be. This land has been in their family in a lot of ways, in a lot of cases, for generations.
It was developed hand in hand with members of that community, people who live there. So these aren't big companies from overseas, these aren't big US energy companies that did the development work. This is a family that lives right there in Windthorst that got the project going and that had the mettle and the will to make sure that it was successful. It's a wind farm, so it means it's going to help us deal with our environmental issues while also creating jobs and competitively priced energy for our country. I'm passionate about wind energy on several levels. First and foremost is the impact that we have on the US economy and on thinking about the way we use and create energy in this country. We have to kind of adapt that and create a new energy revolution for the 21st century.